Champione, Champione, Ole, Ole, Ole. I don't know who Ole is, but we seem to say it all the time, don't we?
Ole, 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 ole.
French bloke called Oliver.
Yeah.
How is he? Is he a nice guy?
It's actually a woman, Olivia. Yeah. Yeah, she, famous blue nose. She actually had a blue nose. She knew nothing about Birmingham.
Nah.
She was a Villa fan. She lived in a villa in Spain. Next door to
Not
Doug
the
Ellis.
football club, she just really like villas in Spain.
Yeah.
Oh, I quite like villas in Spain.
Yeah.
How you doing? You alright? Welcome back to BlueTube, and we are here to discuss our final game at home of the season. 4-0, Mansfield lifted the trophy. A good farewell to the long-standing servant that is Duke on what was his final game at St Andrews. It was an emotional one. What did you make of the game then, Dad?
It was one of the best performances of the season, and so fitting as well. Last home game as in League One as champions. Scored a few, could have scored more. The whole exhibition, the whole thing from start to finish. Just put your head in my view.
Don't let me stop you. Keep going.
The whole thing from start to finish, the whole exhibition was just superb, wasn't it? Everyone was there early. There was a fantastic feeling around the ground. Bumped into loads of people, had a good chat with loads of people, didn't we?
And Royal Blue as well. We saw Gary, lovely bloke,
Royal Blue,
lovely seeing you.
I like Royal Blue.
Yeah, Matt
watching
and
them
Gary.
from the
Yeah,
start.
it's
Yeah,
very similar to us.
yeah, and the game, it was just superb, wasn't it? It was nice because there was no real pressure on. The only pressure I felt was for Duke to get a goal, and I'd have loved him to have got his goal. But you know what? He didn't need to.
We didn't need it.
It would have been, as you said in the last one, the sort of cherry on the icing on the cake. But yeah, what a servant he has been. I'm so chuffed. And it was so fitting that we made our last video just saying like we want to keep him at the club in some capacity, and it's going to happen, is it? So I don't know if that'll be a coaching role, an ambassador type role, or what.
They've kept it close to the chest, but not like we know that he's going to be staying on, but they haven't revealed him what exactly he's doing. I mean, I'm not entirely too sure why. I can't see him being anything else other than a coach and attacking. I don't know why not just say that, but maybe they're still ironing out the details. Who knows?
Yeah,
of what that's going to
do
look
they
like.
even know yet? They must have some idea what they're wanting to do, and maybe there's a choice of things you can do.
I wouldn't be surprised at that actually being the case, Dad. Because you got to look at a player like Duke, and they must be thinking, everyone in the background, we can't afford to let a character like that just walk on out of here. It's been there for 9 years. That's one thing. But what his traits, his personality, the sort of person that he is, you don't let someone like that walk away because he can do so much for the younger players.
Personality, hasn't he?
Absolutely. So yeah, talking about the game a little bit then, I was pleasantly surprised with the performance. I thought that we were absolutely outstanding. There was some worries there in games gone by about Dowell, and I thought he's had one of his best games for us. I thought he was absolutely sensational. And Willemsen, there he is.
Yeah.
What a game that he had. Absolutely brilliant. I was so delighted that he got his goal. Unfortunately, I missed that. I was too busy trying to get a drink, where I actually bumped into Harley Dean. Funnily enough, he was sat in the railway end with a couple of the Blue Noses. Great to see. We saw a few characters down there. Tom Wagner was another one as well. But yeah, what a wonderful day. Really happy for Willemsen.
But you know what? Before even the game, and I talked about the atmosphere a little bit.
Yeah.
Which it was superb, wasn't it? But you mentioned to me about Cloughy, the Mansfield
Clough,
boss.
yeah,
Mr. Clough. He'd been told just before the game, he had an interview, didn't he, for their telly or
their channel,
whoever it was.
Basically telling them they're safe.
Yeah, which was probably a good thing for us. But do you know what I really have to admire about him and the way he came out and lined up for them to form that sort of parade for Blues? And he was part of that. And I thought, fair play. What a class, man. I said to you there, didn't I? I said, what does he know? Because, no, we just absolutely bossed it, didn't we? There was a couple of little episodes right at the start where they probably should have gone 1-0.
It was also really nice of them to let us win 4-0. I thought that was just...
Yeah, but I thought we'd agreed 5 with Duke to score the last one.
Yeah, you are right, actually. Going to have some words, aren't we?
No, anyway, seriously, going through the goals. So, Keish Anderson, some lovely ball play outside the just outside the box, a couple of 1-2s,
Yeah.
and the way he just like picked his spot then.
Yeah.
Bottom
yeah,
left-hand
yeah,
corner,
yeah.
beat the keeper.
They were all quality goals, really.
Yeah, that header at the back post by Laird coming in, wasn't it? Keeper made a half decent save, and then that was Willemsen's when you went down to get your drink. Dowell's header, what a header that was!
Yeah.
What a header! Because when we were in the Gilmerick, obviously, and behind, I thought he'd got injured. Like he got up really slowly, but when I watched it back, he was just laughing his head off for some reasons. Everyone was just laughing. I was like, must be something behind that goal, mustn't there? But for that, and then Iwata to finish off the way he slotted through, and he sort of started the move a little bit as well.
Talk
Didn't
about
he?
the setup, the
Cleared
back
up,
heel from
yeah.
Dowell for that
Yeah,
goal.
Dowell had a great game, didn't he?
Absolutely
I think
brilliant. Yeah, it was all going on.
Dowell was a lot of people's man of the match, and he probably was man of the match overall. But
Agreed.
I think there wasn't anyone that had a bad game for me.
No,
And,
I totally agree.
Superb, wasn't it?
I think what they did for that game, Dad, they really relished it, didn't they?
Yeah,
The final performance at home. Let's remain unbeaten, which we did throughout the whole season.
105 points.
105 points, beating the record. The sun was shining. Mr. Blue Sky came along and watched it as well. He wanted to see what was going to happen. And I tell you what, it couldn't have been a better day, could it?
Yeah, and it was a game that reflected on. I mean, we had 73.5% possession, and the scoreline reflected that for me yesterday.
yeah,
Probably
yeah.
one of the few times that it has this season.
Real
So
complete performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't even really notice the ref, to be fair. So I was quite pleased with that. And it's a good thing that when you don't notice the officials, it's a better game for them, isn't it? So yeah, 18 total shots Blues had to their 5. 7 of ours were on target. Passing percentage 90.6% for Blues.
Yeah.
Clear cut chances 5. 9 corners. There was a couple of offsides. It was neither here nor there for me. And Laird, he gets caught off a lot, doesn't he? But not always off, I don't think. I mean, we're behind the goal, but sometimes it looks like he's timed it perfectly. But we don't need to worry about it, do we? Because the day, on the whole, was absolutely spot on. And it sort of puts us in a nice sort of... we haven't finished on this yet a little bit, but we've got Blackpool to look forward to on Wednesday, away day. It's a shame that's not the weekend, isn't it? Because if that was on the general sale, we'd have definitely gone up for that.
I think it
We'd
is
have got
going
the
to
tickets.
general sale. I could be wrong, but I think it is from what I've heard.
But
So get your tickets
yeah,
if you do want to go.
it would be a good day out. If you got a few days off, you're laughing, aren't you?
It's a bit of a weird one. I think I might have alluded to this before in previous videos, but when we realised that we was in League One, you had that feeling of, oh, we've got to get through this. It's going to be a slog getting out of League One, blah, blah, blah. And if we do, it's a lot of trepidation about it. But I don't want this season to end now.
No.
It has been brilliant, hasn't it?
And I was saying on Chatting Blues last night on Nick's channel, Chatting Blues, cracking channel. Go and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Boy in
Jay's,
Blue,
Boy in Blue. Yeah, of course.
And you're saying about it's gone so fast this season, but at the same time, it seems such a long time ago that we actually, it was a year ago, Norwich.
Yeah.
That feels like 4 years ago, but this season's just whipped by. It's gone really fast, hasn't it?
Because now we probably should save this sort of stuff for maybe an end of season review, but I can't wait for that. I'll talk about it now because we've had our last home game. I want to ask you, what was your favourite home game? Because we only go to the home games, don't go to the away ones. Never usually get the chance, to be honest, anyway.
I know straight away what's in my mind.
Yeah, what's your
and
highlight?
It was sad in a way because you wasn't there. It was when you
It's
was
going to be
away.
Wrexham, isn't it?
Wrexham.
Yeah.
That's the game that sticks in my mind. We went a goal down. It was massively hyped up. Everybody was there. Night game, special occasion, a real test for Blues.
Yeah.
Fairly early on in the season, 3-1 win, and it was convincing. And if you look at Wrexham now,
it was a good
Wrexham
one.
have just been going bop, bop, bop. Fair play to them, and they're still doing it. They've come up with us, but they haven't beat us this season. We've beat them, and we got a draw away from home.
Yeah.
So that home win, because of the hype around it as well, was brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant, I'll say.
absolutely.
You did get to watch it on telly though, didn't you?
Yeah, in Spain, to be fair. So, it was really, really difficult for me being on holiday in Spain in this Irish bar and stuff. It was just
Terrible, isn't it?
I wouldn't wish it on anyone, to be honest with you.
What about yours then?
Some people, I just want to say on the Wrexham game quickly.
Go on.
Some people mentioned they don't like the hype around it. Like with the Wrexham
I
game,
think we've got to
brings
get used to
certain
that now.
people into. I disagree to that to some extent. I don't think
I
it
think
should
it's the
ever
nature
take
of
up.
our ownership now.
Yeah,
Everything will look at the
well,
fireworks before the games.
there's a level to it. Should never ever take the limelight away from the main event that is the football. I don't think that did. I think it was part of the build-up, part of the entertainment, which is what football is. I don't want to go off onto a tangent there. I just thought I'd make that point. But talking about my favourite game, and this really isn't recency bias. I'm sure a few of you will agree with me. It's got to be Mansfield game. It was an absolute complete performance. I don't think any of our players put a foot wrong in that game. And Mansfield had their chances, to be fair, but I felt like we dealt with them well. And to win 4-0, very comprehensive, and then to lift the cup after it,
Yeah, it
saying
was the
goodbye to Duke.
occasion. The whole occasion was
And
superb.
what a
Wasn't
lovely
it?
touch by the club to have scarves on the seats.
Oh,
That was top, wasn't it?
yeah.
I mean, you can see the one here that we've brought back, and it's just little bits like that that really do make a difference and go such a long way. Yeah, I thought it was top. I really, really did. Yeah, it's got to be the Mansfield one for me. Absolutely.
No, fair play. Yeah, there's been a few good games. I mean, like I said in the last one, I've had a good moan at some times, but do you know what? There's not a lot to moan about, really, is there? When we look
Yeah,
at
that's
it,
why we've gone about the referees so much.
you have to moan about something. It's just in the nature.
Yeah, you've got to fill the moaning gap about something, so the referees have filled
gotta
that
get it
nicely
in.
for you. Yeah, haven't they? Yeah. I also wanted to mention a congratulations to Chris Davis on winning Manager of the Season. Well deserved, absolutely. I was a bit perplexed at first because I thought he was just celebrating the cup lift. Has he had to just zoom all the way
Yeah.
down into
Superb,
London
isn't it?
to?
How could it have gone to anyone else?
Well, there are
Really?
a few contenders. I think Stockport Manager. A few
No,
people
I
are
know,
talking
but
about Charlton's
you wait
Nathan
up,
Jones.
and we've already touched upon this today. Is the fact that
First,
brand new team,
yeah,
first time of asking,
yeah.
all in one season. It could, yeah, there's been money, but you've still got to
Well,
get those players playing together.
you
And
can.
we have been under the cosh a lot.
Yeah, we've
as Blues.
deserved this. Absolutely. People make that point all the time. We've suffered
Yeah.
so much for so long. Cut us a bit of slack.
And
Give
he's
us
a brand
break.
new manager. Yeah, he's coached. He's been
And
a,
about the money thing as well.
assistant.
You can have teams at the very top of European football throw money at it. I mean, look at Manchester United, for
Doesn't
example.
mean it's going to work.
Doesn't mean it's going to work. You have to have the right foundations in place. You have to guide the team in the right way. You have to deal with certain personalities and characters. So there's a lot more than just splashing the
But
cash.
and looking, just going off on a bit of a sideward movement, look at what it does for Blues moving forward now.
Yeah.
Because they were already selling this project to
League
the new
One.
players coming in League One, and some of them, and I'm not going to go over it again, these international standard players that we saw perform yesterday. Who are we going to approach now in the close season?
Going
Look
into the
at
championship.
just that next level
And the
up now.
momentum as well.
Championship level now. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to next year.
Absolutely.
Got to get the season tickets renewed.
Yes, we have. Yeah, 100%. Going back into the championship again. It will be so refreshing, and I'm so excited to see just how this new Blues attack a league that we have admittedly suffered in.
How do you feel about
so
next
long.
year? What's your thoughts about it?
I'm very, very, very anxious, keen, and excited to see what we do in this transfer window now. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say this. I think this will probably be one of the most pivotal transfer windows that I've ever seen in my period as being a Blues fan.
Tommy Wagner's already hinted at it,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
it's-
That we're going to be splashing the cash
I mean, we can talk about the celebrations a bit now. I suppose that's a nice segue. Talking about Tom Wagner, and I'm not going to directly quote him here, but when he said something like, "This isn't the best day you'll see under us. It's not even close."
That's what I thought he said.
He did. He dropped a little f-bomb in there, cheeky from Wagner. But if anything else,
This is how the guy just knows how
shows
to relate
passion.
to just
Yeah.
all factions of Blues fans, doesn't he? Because
Yeah,
we're all a mixed community, aren't we? We don't always agree, like we say, on things. But this guy seems to have found that
he's
perfect
Mr.
medium.
Charisma, isn't he? You
Oh,
can
yeah.
make up a better owner in my eyes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm biased, but I don't care. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. Credit to him. Credit to all the backroom staff as
And it was
well.
nice seeing him, like the chemistry between him and Chris Davis on the pitch yesterday. In fact, watching all of that yesterday, I know, the emotions were running high and that, but Bielik being there to lift the cup with Duke and Clara.
That was just excellent,
Just
wasn't
amazing, wasn't it?
That really
Families
is.
of the players there, the little kids.
It's
coming
what dreams are
through.
made of. That is,
Superb, isn't
and
it?
just I don't want to go on about Duke too much and bore everyone to death. But you got to think, for him to stay as long as he did, and to help out the club through thick and thin, where in so many instances, so many players would think, "Do you know what, I'm going to try elsewhere and just see if I can have a little bit more of a positive career." He's stuck it out and he's grinded through times where it's looked like our club was just going right in the dump, and we really were sailing down into oblivion at one stage, and he just kept picking away at it. He's dug deep, he stayed with us for 9 long years, some agonising years as well, and for him to go out lifting the trophy with us, well played, Duke.
Yeah.
Nice one. Happy for you, son.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And just having him around the younger players, like I mean,
Yeah.
Stano, you can see Jay Stansfield thinks such a lot of him, doesn't he? You know,
yeah.
on his media posts and things like that, on his Instagram and whatnot. And what Duke, as an old, like pro, will do for the players coming forward, it's just going to be immense for the new players we bring in there.
In a weird way, I actually really like the way that we started to play when Duke came on, and that said a lot about the harmony in the squad. Just
I know what you're going to say.
hear me out on this.
I know what you're going to say.
But Jay's on for being top scorer, and I don't know if you guys noticed this as well, or will even agree with me on this. But every opportunity that those players got, they were putting into Duke, trying to get him a goal. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
And I know it's disappointing that he didn't get a goal, but seeing that effort, it's like, no, we really appreciate this bloke. Clearly everyone loves him. And they're trying to get the ball on the end of his head to see if he can get a goal for himself, just to end off with a hurrah. And unfortunately, he didn't get it. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, this is it. This is it.
It really was a perfect day. And yeah, they don't come round all too often, like we've heard from a few people now. So when,
do you know what though? From listening to what Tom Wagner was saying there, it's hard as an old Blues fan, an old like school type, if you will. I know there's older out there that've been seen a lot more than me, but
not many.
To get shut up.
Sorry.
To get my head around, he's telling us there's going to be better days.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But it's exciting to think.
No, this is it. This is what we've got to start getting used to now, because they're not stopping here. They're just beginning. And it's been a relentless message from Wagner. They just continue to push.
And do you know what? What he's
nice.
promised us so far, it's coming true.
Delivered.
It's all coming true.
Every single time.
Everything he's doing.
And don't get me wrong, there have been mistakes along the way. There will be plenty more. That's just the way that it goes in football. I mean, that's just the way that it goes in business.
You can't write the script with football, can you? Because
Nah,
every day is different. Every game's different. Players change. I tell you what. The other thing I just wanted to mention. It was brilliant to see Buchanan walking out to come and get his medal.
Yeah. Well,
Chuffed a bit
all
with
of
that.
them. Scott Wright as well. Bealey,
Righty,
as you say, lifting the
Dykes
trophy.
as well. Lyndon Dykes was out there with his family by the looks of it. Oh, it was lovely. Just fantastic. Could talk about this all day. But unless there's anything else you want to mention on this, can go on to little chat about Blackpool away. I've got some facts and figures if you want them.
Did we want to make that a separate video, or do we just want to
put it on the end of this if you want?
Do you want to?
Or do you want to do it?
What day are we on today?
Just roll straight
We're on
onto
Monday,
it.
aren't we? And we're playing on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Just roll it into.
Yeah.
You're getting live discussions now. They should be behind the camera. You shouldn't be here. Yeah, go on then. Let's just do it now. Let's just get it out.
So let's move on to if you're happy to move on. Anything you want to say before we talk about little game coming up away at Blackpool?
No. I think we've covered it well enough there. We've gone on about. I think we're going to bore them to death if we go on about it anymore. But it was a brilliant day, and of course, on that, before we touch on Blackpool, let us know your thoughts on how the day panned out for yourselves, Blue Noses. It really was a good day. It's going to live long in the memory, that's for certain.
Definitely. So just touching upon Blackpool then, Wednesday, 30th of April. Hope we take an absolute stock of Blues fans with us.
Oh, no doubt. Of course we will.
7:45 Bloomfield Road. Steve Bruce is obviously still the manager down there.
Played there before.
They're currently sitting ninth in the division. Where are we again now?
Can't remember.
We're champions. We're top. This is a game that can we lift it now after what's happened?
I'll be honest with you, Dad. I'm going to struggle to find the energy or the words to even talk about it at this point. I think, never mind the teams being on the beach. I think that's where I am at this point, to be honest. I mean, it feels like it with the weather today as well. I'm going off on a tangent here. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't really... This sounds bizarre to say potentially, and maybe I shouldn't really be saying this, but I'm relaxing a bit now
Yeah.
as well. Of course, go out there and absolutely give it your all. Never expect anything less. But we've got the points record. We've just lifted the trophy. I'm still on cloud nine. I am, and
Yeah, I am exactly the same.
Blackpool. I don't believe they've not got anything to play for. Like you said, they're ninth. They're nowhere
This
near
is
the
it.
playoffs.
No, this is it.
It's
They
just
can't
gonna
get
be,
into the playoffs. They've just drawn. I think the last game was against Wigan 1-1. Lost to Wrexham 2-1.
Yeah.
Before that, won against Stevenage.
Right.
Lost to Rotherham. Beat Reading 3-0, and beat Bolton 2-1.
This will be a classic, just playing for the pride of the shirt now for both sides, won't it? Go out there, enjoy your football. Do you reckon now that we have, lifted the cup, that he might just start playing the likes of Duke just because it's his last 2 games for the club? Give him a run out. Let him have a go at it. Last
he
time we
has
played professional
showed
football.
that sort of sentimental side a little bit that we thought that wasn't really there, but at the same time he still keeps it professional and play for the win every time, doesn't he? So Davis will be sending out the team to win it.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about that.
No, of course.
Whereas, how much can those players raise the game now? Because, and I've got to be honest, this might sound terrible as a Blues fan, but you know what? For me, apart from when it comes to the game, because when I watch it, I will be all passionate and come on, get in there. But if we didn't get any more points now, I'd just be like, fair play. It sounds awful, I know. I know people will criticise that, but we've done what we needed to this season.
I think that we're just going off of the back of yesterday here.
I think
because
so,
we're still
yeah.
on cloud nine.
Yeah.
If we get to the game and we would be fuming.
Yeah, you're right. When it gets to it.
When it gets to it, we're just still absolutely.
I mean, when you
buzzing
mentioned
about
that the tickets
yesterday,
had gone
that's
on
all.
general sale, I was like,
Yeah,
ooh.
go down. Yeah. Certainly thinking about it. It's the way. It's something that's in the air. I mean,
Yeah.
No, what I would certainly suggest with Davis, because I'm still thinking about Stansfield getting top goal scorer of the season. I think that'd be lovely.
Do you know, just
and
while
Duke
you're
as
saying
well.
that, did anyone see the EFL awards? And,
Well, I alluded to earlier, talking about Chris Davis.
yeah.
Congratulating.
And,
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, Kone getting young player and player of the season. Come on. I mean, he's a good player, but both.
Yeah.
There's plenty of players out there to have chosen from. And
Well, he's got less goals than Stansfield
In the league.
and he's played 10 more games than him. Because if you think about it, we got Stansfield.
yeah,
on
what's your
deadline
thoughts
day.
on that? Because that just. It almost feels like the EFL sticking 2 fingers up to us again, doesn't it? Because
I think-
Iwata was nominated for us.
I'll be honest, I'm not entirely too fussed. With these sorts of things, Dad, with these award ceremonies, it's not even just in football, is it? There's always going to be people, complaining about it or thinking, they haven't thought too hard
I mean,
about this, too hard
Kone
about
is
that.
well worth
Yeah.
a player of the season, young player of the season. Fair play to him, he's superb. But for both, it's almost like there's no one else.
Oh, it's not better than Tomoki Iwata.
No.
Nah.
No.
Just
Or
not
Clara.
even-
Why can't it go to a defender that's played his socks off all season?
I mean, I think we
Iwata turns up every game, and even on a bad game, he's still decent.
can, yeah.
Do you know? It's true, isn't it?
I mean, he's a Champions League player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For Celtic.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on too much about that, but what I will do, I'll just run through quickly.
Look, you got your moaning for the video.
There'll be a few of them. I'll always get something. So Blackpool's team, their rankings are all right recently. Actually, you got Fletcher that plays up front for them. Is on 11 goals, and Ennis, which we've mentioned before, haven't we? I think the last time he scored 6 for them. But it's their midfield duo, Morgan and Evans, that are quite sturdy in the middle of the park for them. Both average ratings are about 7.5. And I'm not going to go too heavily into it because we don't know who they're going to be playing. I haven't really looked that heavily. Their top scorer is Ashley Fletcher, as I've mentioned. And although it says, 11 goals, sorry, it's 11 goals. Top assists is Morgan on 9, midfielder we just had a look at. So, it's all down to passion now, isn't it? Who wants to just go out and play a game? I do think Blues should canter it, but I'm not going to go over the top in knocking them if we don't get. If we went and got a draw away from home and another point, great. But I know there's people watching this now.
Well, no.
3 points.
No,
And I can understand that.
I was going to say this earlier, but I think we just really quickly went on to something else, or at least I made another point anyway. I want at least another win.
You do.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh, I want
yeah.
of course I want to win, but
I mean,
all I'm saying is
to
I could understand now.
to get above the Reading.
It's like if you've worked on like
Reading
a job
record.
as a tradesman or something, you put your tools away. Yeah, you're finished now. Yeah, tools are
It's a
down.
really odd feeling. This, I feel like I'm committing a crime by even speaking even slightly like this. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just me going off of the. I'm still drunk with joy from yesterday. That's what this is all about. But I do want
And
us.
cider.
Well, yeah, I do want us to get over the Reading record though of 106. We're on 105. Let's get over that.
Yeah, there is.
Let's
that
go
side
out
of
with
it,
a
isn't there?
bang, and there's no way that we can't do it. Get
But
a
you
win
think
at Blackpool, win at Cambridge.
Blackpool, they are going to want to beat the league champions, aren't they? Both home games for them.
I don't know. I've spoken to them. They said, I really want you guys to win. I really like you lot. Good friends of ours.
This is something we've done before, Ben. Couple of players that have played for both teams.
Keshi Anderson.
Yeah, he's not on this list from my.
I just remember it from the last video where we did this.
Joe Hart, Kevin Phillips, Barry Ferguson, Neil Dans, and a few others. And a few goalkeepers, actually. Ryan Alsop, obviously. Colin Doyle, Joe Hart, and Richard Kingston.
Wow, very nice.
There you go. I'm not going to mention the referees, Martin Woods. He's actually got some good stats, but I'm not going to get too far into that. I'm just looking forward to... I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I do want us to go out and get the record. But like I say, I couldn't knock them. They've done everything they were supposed to. And after yesterday, it was just a superb day
That's
out.
what it really is, isn't it? I'm not going to sit here and moan at them, but however it falls on these last two games, because it has been an absolutely incredible season.
And on Sunday next week, what are we doing?
They've got the player awards
We're
as
going
well.
to the player awards.
I know, we weren't
That's
going
if the tickets come through, because I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we'll be fine. And that'll be even more
We'll
special.
touch up. We can do a little recap of that. If you're interested, we can do that. If you want to know how the player awards go and who we talk to, we can do a little.
I suppose so. We can mention it. I'm sure we will do anyway when we plan for the off season.
Off season.
People don't like that. Yeah.
A to Z, FEA.
You shouldn't have said that because I was trying to see if I can get people in the
Close
comments
season,
with that.
yeah.
But if there's anything in the break that you guys want us to cover, obviously transfers, this, that, and the other. Don't know if we're going to do player profiles. Depends really. Might just do a few shorts on those. We'll figure it
If
out.
they're interesting enough, and we think that they're going to be like, we're not just going to put. We won't put rubbish out just for the sake of it. We have a good chat here, and we were talking about this with some of the people that came up to us that watched. Nice to have seen you yesterday. We are very tongue-in-cheek, aren't we, in what we do? We'll try and get our facts and figures right. A lot of it we'll
try
make up as we go along.
We'll really try.
We always try and do a bit of research, and sometimes like I work off my phone. We got to do it a bit more professionally.
It sounds a little bit cheesy saying community. Well, I suppose it is something like that.
Oh,
like that.
yeah, it's
Put
part
us
of
in
the
our place,
community,
Blues fans. You ever think that we're chatting absolute nonsense, which is basically about 95% of the time, especially if you're listening to me. Just put me in my place. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Just have a little bit of a laugh.
It is. That's all it is. Very
the main
tongue-in-cheek.
concern that a lot of fans have, which is very sweet of them, is that they think that one day we're going to get blown away, which, to be fair, is on the cards. Let's see what happens next season.
Yeah.
But I think we can wrap this up there, can't we?
All I'm going to say is let's do some predictions
Oh,
again.
go on then.
I'm going to say away from home against Blackpool. Still going to go with a 2-0.
I'm also going to go 2 now.
Oh yeah.
Or do I have to go different now?
No, you can go the same.
Yeah.
You can't have the same scorers.
Okay, well I'm going to go Jay Stansfield to score 1 and Duke to score the other because I live in fairy tale land and I want that to happen for him.
Okay, then in that case, I'm going to go for May and Keshi Anderson.
Nice, against his former club as well. Isn't it brilliant with Keshi Anderson? He was a trialist for us at one point, and look at him
Yeah, I
now.
remember the first time I saw Keshi Anderson was when he was on Peterborough away before that season, and they beat us away before the season started. And he looked dynamite. He just didn't have that finished product that he's developed now.
Yeah.
But he's running. I tell you what, you'd move out the way if he was coming towards you, wouldn't you?
No, brilliant. And what a fantastic season that has been.
Yeah.
And although it isn't over yet, It is at St Andrews, and those season tickets, the final time that we'll use them. Sad, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But until next year, and of course you'll be keeping
Yeah,
up with us
we'll be
anyway.
back. We'll be back the end of the week with the
Yeah.
and we'll talk about the Blackpool game as
I'm
well.
just feeling so bad. I just don't know what
We
to
haven't
do.
finished yet. Okay, it
But,
feels like we're signing off.
You sign off, Dad. I can't.
Yeah, thanks for. It's brilliant. If you ever see us and you want to come and say hello down at the ground or anything, it's going to be a while now, isn't it? But come and say hello. We love it, and we'll always have a gas with the fans. It was brilliant yesterday. So come and do that. And if you've got any ideas, seriously, for us moving forward, if there's anything you want to see in particular, things you don't like a lot of people don't like the stats so much, so I have whittled them right down. Yeah, just let us know. Put something in the comments. Any feedback's good for us, and we want to, we want to enjoy what we're doing. We just have a laugh doing this, but we share it with you because a lot of people like it, and we feel part of the blues community doing it, and we love it. So we'll see you probably after the Blackpool game, won't
Yep.
we? We'll definitely talk about the up and coming Cambridge game. We'll do an end of the season review at some point as well. But thanks for coming along. Keep right on. It's been a great season, and we'll speak to you all soon. Take care, guys. All the best.